CQ. This is M0AUG calling all members and friends together for the Denby Dale weekly digital net on our Thursday evenings. Not many of us on so far this evening, so we'll see how far it goes. And I know Nick will be able to probably fill us in on items like Parks on the Air, and of course this weekend is the Mills on the Air weekend. Welcome also to anybody listening on the YouTube channel. And so over to Northern Germany first of all. DL1 BJW with DL8 PDT. Good evening to you both. M0AUG. Hope all is well.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Very good evening to all. Yeah, thank you. We are okay over here. Had a very interesting few days here with the builders in the cellar, but now they are hopefully gone and the works are completed. Tidying up took nevertheless quite a long time, and so we didn't succeed to take part in the meeting on Zoom yesterday evening, unfortunately. But we are glad that the thing in the cellar has been could be finished by us, so that we have the feeling that we live in the house again. So yeah, otherwise we are okay over here. Hope the same applies to all of you. And yeah, I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango. Very good evening to all of you. Yes, here in Germany, weather is quite nice. Yesterday there had been about 24 degrees centigrade. Today about 20 degrees centigrade, and the sun is shining. And yeah, there are all over the town some festivals because of the holiday and dancing events nearby. So we hear the rhythm from the nearby restaurant during the day, only the basses. It's quite strange. Yes. And we are very happy that our cellar has been finished, as Mike just said. So this was the first report from here. Microphone back to M0AUG for the group.
DL8 BGT with DL1 BJW in the group, M0AUG returning. Yes, well, I'm Mike Algana, and pleased that the builders sorted the cellar out for now. Time will tell with these things, but I do hope that they've actually got a result for you. I know you've been struggling for a while with it. So yeah, but thanks for keeping us up to date with that. I didn't make the meeting last night either, due to other commitments. So it's interesting to hear how that went on. So without further ado, I'll pass over to Nick, who can fill us in on last night's meeting and the other things I mentioned earlier. G4IW in the group, M0AUG. Good evening, Nick.
M0AUG in the group from G4IW. Oh, yeah, good evening, Jeff, and good evening to Mike and Adriana and others logged on this evening. And of course, a good evening as well to those listening live on YouTube. Thank you for supporting us. And of course, those who listen later during the week. Yeah, first of all, we've had apologies tonight, Jeff, from Bob N4XAT. Unfortunately, he has suffered a bereavement in the family and has had to leave his home with Kathy to go and visit the family affected by that. So hopefully we can perhaps express our feelings to Bob, Jeff, after the meeting directly, and just let him know that we're thinking of him at this difficult time. As to last night, we had a few people log in and log out, which was nice, and we ended up with an impromptu session on 40 meters with Ken running 600 watts on 40 meters, being called by Laura up in Scotland. Ken couldn't hear her at all. I heard her, but Ken didn't. but he was coming in very strongly up in Scotland. Not surprising, Laura was only running 10 watts from the IC 705. So just a little bit of fun and a chat about one or two things. Yeah, Parks on the Air has suddenly really opened up. If you remember when we had that talk a few weeks ago from Harold, who gave us an excellent presentation about Parks on the Air and where it's at, and we looked with him at the map of the available parks in England. He was quite surprised how few they are. That's now been hugely opened up, not just with the Pennine Way, but in fact all of England's national trails have been given a reference on the system. So of course that includes up here in Yorkshire and Lancashire, includes the Pennine Bridleway. It includes the Trans-Pennine Trail. It, of course, includes a whole series of other paths around the country. So there's now the South Downs Way and the South West Coast Path and the North Downs Way and the Yorkshire Wolds Way and so on. Anything which is classified as a national trail is now included under Parks on the Air. And of course, given that these trails, in some cases, like the Pennine Bridleway, is nearly the same length as the Pennine Way, over 200 miles, it's going to really, really open up the opportunities for virtually anyone throughout the country to find somewhere to operate from a park without going too far. So that's really, really good news, and I'm very pleased that this has happened. And a big thanks to April Jones, who's the administrator for Parks on the Air in England and handles the classifications of parks meeting the international rules of Parks on the Air. The other thing to say is if there's people watching, listening tonight who would like to see a park added to Parks on the Air, then please get in contact with us. Get in contact with me, G4IWO at btinternet.com, and I can pass the information on to April on your behalf, setting out the case for the park you've identified to be joined. So I won't keep it saying more at this stage, Jeff. I'll pass it back to you. M0 AUG in the group from G4IWO.
G4IW in the group M0AUG returning. Yes, thanks for that, Nick. One or two bits of dropouts in the over there, and no doubt Jeff, when he comes in a few minutes, can either confirm or deny. It could easily be something that's going on in the area here as well. Thanks for the update on Parks on the Air, and that's brilliant. If you were able to coordinate some of the replies there to get more parks listed in England, and I know you've been putting some work into it, and I think you're getting real enjoyment out of living more or less on the Pennine Way there, and being able to go over the 705 and sit down and do that. So well done for that. And thanks for the update on Bob. I'll drop a line to him afterwards out of the meeting. And obviously we do express our condolences. So, over to you now, Jeff. There's nobody else on after you, Jeff, at the moment, but I don't know where Eddie is, or Andrew, or Dave down south, but probably basking in the sunshine somewhere. Over to you in Belgium there. Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group, M0AEG. And thanks again for offering to stand in, Jeff, if I didn't make it to the chair this evening. Over to you.
Mike Zero, AUG, the group. Very good evening, Jeff, and very good evening to everyone, and also to the people on the YouTube channel. Also a very good evening or a very good day, wherever you are. Nice to be here again. Beautiful weather during the last couple of days. Yesterday was 17 degrees, today 20 degrees, sunshine. Yesterday I went to Brussels. I had a meeting there, but after that I met with my wife and we had a dinner and strolled a little bit around. Today we went to the Dutch coast, just over the Belgian border, which is only maybe 30, 35 kilometers from here. So we had a beautiful day there also. And really enjoy the good weather. So that's a little bit the news about me here. You are absolutely right, Jeff. I also have some breakups on mixed senior. I don't know why. Maybe Mike can confirm or not confirm. All the other seniors are very good, but on Mike's on Nick's senior G4 IWO, I get some breakups. So that's the news from here. Some more news in the next over. Mike Zero AUG, the group for an 8 November Tango.
Right, Tango in the group, M0 AG returning. Yes, fine on that, Jeff, and thanks for the updates on that. I'm glad it wasn't just me who was experiencing breakups there. Sorry, Nick, but that's how it was. No doubt Mike and Adriana will confirm as well how they received it. You can never tell with the internet technology. It can be okay in one place, but not in another. And fine on the travels that you've been doing there, Jeff. It's been a nice day for that. And as you know, I've been spending the day with in other places with my wife, so I've not been able to enjoy the sunshine at all. And there we are. Radio information from me. One of my other clubs, the Thorns and Cleavers Amateur Radio Society, or TCARS as it's known, in the northwest of England. They're based at Thorns and Cleavers, which is a town on the Fylde coast here, and we spent the weekend, in fact, up at the Fleetwood lifeboat station, because it's the SOS 200 this time of the year for March, and the club station put on HF and on VHF at the RLI lifeboat station in Fleetwood, and they also coincided with the 165 years since the lifeboats first came to Fleetwood, as well as the 200 years for the RNLI itself. An excellent weekend. I spoke to them on the Saturday, but actually went up there and spent the day with them on the Sunday, and it was good to catch up with some of the members up there. And we had a good weekend for a very good cause. The RNLI looked after us really well with the facilities, put a couple of decent sized gazebos up on the forecourt of the lifeboat station there with tables and chairs and all the assistance we could ever want. Excellent weekend. So, back over to Northern Germany now, DL1 BJW with DL8 BDT M0 AUG in the group.
DL1 BJW, yeah. Unfortunately, we must confirm the breakups in Nick's transmission. There were quite a lot of them, but nevertheless, we did get the information from Nick and understood it, but there were quite a number of breakups, yeah. Okay. I wanted to say something, but I forgot that. I think I'm growing old rapidly. But what was it I wanted to mention? We've had a contact, several contacts by email with our friend Brian, ZL3XDJ, who is on the air each morning, every morning here on 20 meters, and previously to that on 40 meters. And we had some nice CW QSOs with them. I think I reported about that in the past meetings. And he sent us very good advice for putting out radios for vertical antennas in a small garden, how to let them grow into the earth, so to speak. And that's really a useful hint, and perhaps we will do that. I have to check first with the lawn there, if it is possible. We've had the PAC 12, or JPC 12 antenna from China up, and we're testing it. It worked very well, especially if we put 5 radials are 5 meters, or each of 5 meters around it. And that gave us quite good results with that. Now we have taken it down again and resorted to the old trusted friend of us, the Riberkopf antenna, in the small version, which is only about, I think, 6.5 meters, something like that long, but works very well on 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20 meters. And even with a little bit nudging, it's working on 30 meters and even on 40, but of course the quality is very low then. But on 10 to 20 meters and even on 6 meters, I have to add, it's working quite well. And so we have had it up again. It's only working with 3 radials, could be more, but it seems to be enough. And we are looking forward to an interesting next few days with the developments in the ionosphere, of which you all have heard, I'm sure, because of the big CMEs and the very big sunspots forming on the surface of the sun. Conditions have not been very hot in the last few days, in my experience anyway, and there will be much worse to come, but then I trust it will go up again. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Anyway, there may be some interesting developments regarding Northern Lights, and a weather station from a nearby island, which is about 100 kilometers from our QDH, reported that they had Northern Lights yesterday evening. So perhaps there will be something in the next few days. I'm very much excited about that. Okay, it was a very long over. Passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango. I hope you can hear me. I don't know if there must be a breakdown, but I think I've come through. So I want to add to what Mike said about Brian, ZL3XDJ. He had published a very interesting video, which is in his channel, ZL3 YouTube channel, ZL3XDJ, about antennas in older times. He had built a very, very simple antenna, kind of ground plane, without any balance or so, and for 20 meters. And he had worked DX with it. And this was the time when he was QRV, was the time when he spoke to Mike on the previous week. And when we saw the video, we thought, well, let's have a try with this simple antenna, and we took some speaker wires, which we had in the cellar, and a BNC adapter with 2 banana plugs on the other side. And on the one side, we put up about 5 meter long speaker wire, and on the other side, the ground side, we put the radials, and we have taken 5 radials, each of which was 5 meters long. And we set it up in the garden with a fishing pole there, and gave it a try, and it worked. It worked. Mike has several contacts outside of Europe, and I put on the USDX, and it worked too. And I had some very nice QSOs on CW with a guy in Spain, which was very enjoyable because he lowered his speed so that I could hear him quite well. And this was quite nice. And we have put the antenna down now and have, as Mike said, the old rubber cup antenna in the garden. But it is an easy setup for portable use. You only need a fishing pole, the connector, and the radios, and you can put it anywhere, and it fits into a small pocket. Quite nice. So I have the microphone back to M0 AUG from the group.
DL1 BJW with DL8 BTT, wrong way around, I'm sorry, M0 AUG returning to the group. Yeah, thanks for all the information there, Adrian and Mike. And interesting with what's the difference the radials are making on that one there. And also thank you for your confirmation on Nick's audio. I don't know whether, if you were using a hotspot, Nick, I would say it was being overdriven, but you know, I noticed that you're on terminal mode, so I don't know whether that's anything at all to do with it. Yeah, the event on the weekend at the LIFO station over in Fleetwood, which is right on the coast there, we put on stations for 2 meters and sideband as well. The sideband didn't work at all well. Too much interference on the band, because in the town of Fleetwood, it was also the anniversary of the founding of Fleetwood, and therefore there were stands around not too far away from us where they got discos and all this and the other, and maybe there was just too much interference on there. And we did have one of our members from the Thorns and Cleavage Club demonstrating one of the solar beam expanding antennas, and he was getting some good contacts on his handheld using that one. So these are all experimentation. And for my own part, I was pleased to have worked the station from my home QTH. Although I'm not that far away, I'm not at a good location for being able to work with them directly on FM, so that worked. But also, the other good thing this week, we remember the other week when we were talking, when we had the open day of the Oldham Club, and Eddie came down and everything else, Eddie and I managed to work Tom down in South Africa from the club station there, and we worked him under the club station, and then I worked him under my own call sign, and they did it under his. And I've had a QSL from Tom confirming the contract there. So that gave us a nice one, really. And if you pick it up on YouTube, Tom, very much appreciated. Over to you there, Nick, G4IW in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, Jeff, I'm not sure. I've got nothing different than I've done for the last few weeks, which has been operating perfectly, but I'll probably make a few breaks over here to try and make sure people don't lose anything. First of all, we've got a hello on the YouTube chat from Andy, 2 Echo 0 Romeo Echo Echo, who's been a regular visitor. So good evening to you, Andy, and hope you enjoy the net, and good to see you again this evening. I mean, on the just going back to my portable activation yesterday, I went up onto the Pennine Way. I took a longer walk from home, and actually trekked right the way up to just beneath the reservoir at Blackstone Edge, which Jeff may well know of, which is on the Pennine Way and operated from there. So it was a fabulous high location. And I put out CQ on 20 meters. I had 3 stations come back, 2 in France and 1 in Poland. And I thought, well, this is all working very well. I got very good reports. I then put out a 4th CQ, and back came November Lima 7 Victor, who is in Fairbank in Alaska, who gave me a very, very low signal report, 2 and 2, but said he copied the station and he got my signal report and confirmed what he'd received. So I was delighted with that. And in fact, that was my only US QSO of the day. All the rest of my contacts yesterday afternoon on 20 meters and 40 were within the European area. I also think that we've got a number of people missing tonight, and probably the weather has got them to go out and enjoy it, to go for walks and different things. It's been so depressing in England in particular, and I think it's been the same in Germany and Belgium, where we've had so much rain falling for most of the winter and most of the spring, making it impossible to do what we've been able to do with portable activation. So it's been good to see. We reached 20 degrees at home today, and it's still 17 degrees outside, which is very, very nice indeed. As to Mike and Adriana and verticals, Mike and Adriana, you did exactly what I did when I moved into my QTH, when I moved up to Yorkshire, first of all, to South Yorkshire in Penistone, because I bought a house that had one of these contractual restrictions of no external antennas. And I wondered what I was going to do, but I did have in the garden a 5-foot high tree. So I decided to hang a 5-meter piece of wire from the top of the tree and feed it at the bottom. And I then cut some, with my spade, some holes in the garden, just literally not digging up the grass, but just pushing the spade straight down, vertically down, so it cuts a small slit, and dropping the wires into the slit. And I think I put down about 15 or 16 wires going all over the garden and actually over the fence onto some land beyond the house where there were no other houses. And that's what I used, and it worked exceptionally well. So I was so pleased with that. I put up 3 more wires, one for 15 and one for 10. So I can confirm, Mike and Adriana, that that sort of very simple approach does work extremely well. So well done to you. And also just had a very quick good evening from Rachel, Mike 1 AYG, who's just logged in on YouTube as well. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group from G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group M0 AUG. Turning us fine on that, Nick, and welcome to Rachel and Andrew. I think you said his name was the guy who joined earlier on the YouTube channel. Always welcome. It's good to have the feedback there. I remember, Nick, you were telling us about the antennas when you were up at the previous QTH and the work you'd done to go to these stealth antennas, I think it was. And that was a very, very interesting concept that people have no doubt gained quite a bit of information from there. You were still breaking up quite a bit on that over, Nick, but you know, there's not many of us on this evening, and I think we're all managing with it okay. But maybe it's something we need to pick up offline and do some tests. I don't know. But if it's applying to all of us, then I'm sorry to say it must be something you're in. Over to you there, Jeff. Oscar Membrane, number 2 in the group, M0AG.
M0 AUG, the group ON8 November Tango. Okay. A very good evening to Andy, I think, and Rachel on YouTube. Very nice that you were able to catch the meeting here today. And just reporting to Nick, to G4IWO, I looked to the dashboard of the open spot, and I see you have short transmissions. If I scroll through them, you have 34 seconds, then 7 seconds, then 19 seconds, then 3 seconds, then 6 seconds, then 21 seconds, and that one was with a loss of 1%, and then 10 seconds, and then 2 seconds, and then 21 seconds, and so on and so on. So you were in and out, but nevertheless, I got everything that you told me, so that's not a problem at all. But it's strange. And okay, Mike and Adriana, about the builders and the seller, very, very good that that is solved, hopefully. And working the ZL every morning on CW, that's brilliant. I think that's too early probably for me. Just tell me around what time that was. Normally I'm around 9 or 10 o'clock at the radio, and that's just in time to get some VK stations from time to time. So I'm probably too late for ZL. And interesting about the text from the ZL station about growing your vertical in the garden, probably not by giving them water or something. Very interesting. And also the ground plane, very nice contacts there with the ground plane, so that's excellent. Radio wise, I have been Tuesday evening on the UGAC 2-meter SSD contest. Conditions were above average, so I worked some stations in the 400 kilometer radius in the UK. It was nice, quite some activity actually. I actually heard a lot of stations that I could not work, strangely enough, which I could copy, but they could not copy me. So maybe they were using the 1000 watts, so I don't go with the new license agreements. Yesterday after the meeting, I went to FT8 on 17 centimeters, and there was a contest going on. And then I had a little pilot, actually. I did some, not search and post, but some running. And I had, at certain moment, I had 2 or 3 or 4 stations calling me at the same time. So, and I think there, the radius was between 500 and 600 kilometers. So that was quite good, I think. I worked a 9 Mark II, actually a Finnish station being portable in 9 Mark II, which is West Malaysia, if I'm not wrong. And I think 17 meters has been quite good from time to time, although the conditions are not so good. I tend to stick on 70 meters. Evening, I worked Corsica, Tango Kilo 4 station, and that went very, very difficult on FT8 on 70 meters, so that proves that conditions are not that brilliant. And also 6 meters is open from time to time, so keep an eye on 6 meters. There has been some reports working into 3 Bravo 8, 3 Bravo 8, yeah. So that's quite good, and also into some African, Kenya and so on, so that's the good news. 6 meter is up and is alive and kicking, so to say, and it will improve in the coming weeks, I think. So really interesting, and I'm sure, I know on 6 meters there are also always some CW stations active. So for Mike and Adriana, it's maybe also a good occasion to get some practice there. Okay, no, Mike 0 AUG the group, 08 November Tango.
08 November Tango in the group, 0 AUG. Yes, fine and all that, Jeff, and I know you like to get on the radio as soon as you can in the morning, and it does pay off with some of the contacts that you get over there. And I got my latest copy of BW today, and obviously I didn't see your name in it this time round, which is the first for a long, long time. I know you've been reporting in, and well, a lot of just gone through, so whether you've been reporting into Tim Kirby or not, I don't know, but we'll catch up with it. But that's arrived today, just as we came back in this evening from our trip out today. So there we are. Yeah. Look, we'll take you one more round, and then we'll take a view as to where we go from there with it. I know Nick would probably like to say something about Mills on the air as well, which is the coming weekend, which is obviously the event which was founded by the Denby Dale Radio Society, and usually quite a number of members take part in the activation of this. So I'll let Nick bring that up next time we go around to there. Glad you got the cellar sorted out, Mike and Adriana. I know it's been worrying you for some time, and let's hope when this fine spell goes and we get back to normal conditions, shall we say, that you don't have any further problems. DL1 BJW in the group with DL8 BD2 from 0 AUG.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Julius Whiskey. Thank you, Jeff. We also hope very fervently that the problems in the cellar will be finished now and not coming back again with the next rain showers there. But actually, when it was very urgent, the situation was very bad around the change of the year, at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, around Christmas time especially, and it was not fun. I can tell you that. We had at least 3 real floodings, and yeah, I would be glad if that would be finished for a long time, or even better, forever. Yeah, and Nick, congratulations to working Alaska. That's quite impressive. 2 and 2, yeah, but you being portable there and everything else, that's amazing. It's really amazing. I found this very impressive. And Jeff, 08 November Tango, also very good results. You reached Western Malaysia, for example. That's a good one, especially that. And yeah, good advice to look onto 70 centimeters and 2 meters on FT8 and on 6 meters. I had planned to do some 6-meter work also, but when I looked onto it, there was always no propagation, and so perhaps it will be better in the next few weeks. The season for that, I think, is starting normally around the last day of May, and then into August, I think, if I'm informed correctly. That will be very interesting. Of course, we've got no good antennas for 6 meters until now. I think Nick pointed out in the past that there could be built up a very nice 6-meter antenna, Roxon style, for example, which also could be used in the attic. That would be something because of the measurement that should fit into it. Otherwise, vertical antennas on 6 meters are still prohibited in Germany, so we can only use horizontal antennas on 6 meters, but okay, it's better than nothing. And I'm always also always looking onto 10 meters from time to time. Situation clears up and there are exotic stations out there, but the next day everything back to normal, nothing to be heard, or only very little to be heard. And sometimes in between there are little gems, so to speak. I think a week ago I listened to a very clear, very strong South African station, an SSB on 10 meters, but unfortunately couldn't reach it. But that shows me that things are possible into Southern Africa via 10 meters. And I will be looking into it in the next weeks. So I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango. At the moment, I have nothing very interesting to report because my Zygo G90 is still in repair modus. I sent it to the guy who is able to repair the Zygo equipment, but up until now I've got no report of him. I think during the next week, I hope that he will give me a call and tell me what's wrong and how he wants to fix it. So I have the microphone back to M0 AUT for the group.
Delay BDT with Dale 1 BJW. in the group, M0AG returning. Yes, finding that, Adriana. And, yeah. There's an aircraft room looming around there towards where I am. Just to drown me out for a second there. We live quite close to an airfield in actual fact where we are, so obviously you get things happening at various times during the day. So there we are. It's not a civil airfield. Okay, so find out all the information so far on that, Nick. I'm sure you want to pick up on Mills on the air on this one coming around for this coming weekend. And I was very pleased, as I said, to be able to work the station that the other club was putting all over in Fleetwood, and then going over there to spend the day with them. I know exactly where the reservoir is up at Blackstone Edge. You're quite correct there. And Elaine from the Oldham Club, who I know you've met, Elaine, and her husband Norman, they go up to Blackstone Edge quite a bit with their FTA, not FTA, 891, the Icon 891, and do quite a lot of their de-exing in the car from there as well. And then I know you've met Elaine, and also I think you've worked her on the air as well. So, over to you then, Nick, and you can bring us up to date on the arrangements of the Mills on the air and anything else that's come on in between time. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
Yes, M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Before I continue, Jeff, I'm just going to give a very quick over and just say I will give a report back from Gerald yesterday, the latest position in respect of activity on Mills on the air this year. Can you just confirm that all has been received so far? Over.
All okay so far there, Nick. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger, Jeff. M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, on Mills on the air this weekend, we've got, and I spoke to Gerald last night, we've got so far 32 stations registered with Mills. There's a little group of them in Holland who are running several Mills with call signs such as Papa Bravo 6 Mil, Papa Charlie 6 Mil, Papa Echo 6 Mil, and we've got at least a few others as well. We've got a station in Sweden, Sierra Kilo 6 India Foxtrot are operating from a mill there. We've got at least one windmill in the Republic of Ireland, Echo India 3 Charlie Charlie. And of course, we've got the DX station that everyone wants to work, run by the Bendigo Amateur Radio Club at Anderson's Mill. And they're running Victor India 3 Mills. Victor India 3 Mills is the station to stick into the DX cluster and try and work over the weekend. Gerald did indicate they were having some problems at one of the mills that they were trying to, he was trying to set up a station to operate from this weekend. He's been over in France and travelled back from France today, but they were meeting some difficulty because of funding that had been withdrawn from looking after the mill, and therefore they'd had to close down the public access to it, and it was still in the air as to whether or not they were going to be able to get access to put a radio station there, which is a very, very great shame. But a respectable number taking part all the same. And yeah, we can have a lot of fun with radios outside when the weather is as good as it is. And I really hope it continues. And Mike is quite right, of course. You could put a wire Moxon antenna into your loft space. I'm quite certain of that. That would work extremely well. Andy in our club here has got a small 3-element beam that Ken made for him, and that's what he operates on 2 meters. And on 2 meters, he has some success with that beam, which is inside his loft space, working into France and Germany when conditions open up for him, which is fantastic. And the other bit of news is that Ken is going to be operating from Echo Alpha 5 on Sunday. He's traveling over to Spain on Saturday and he's hoping to get on the air on Sunday morning again from the Salt Lagoons. And there are two lagoons there. One is a private one a public one. The public one is actually a Parks on the Air identity space as well. So he's going to spot himself on Parks on the Air as well. So I'm sure we'll have some fun with Ken over the next few weeks while he's out in Spain. So good to hear everybody, and my apologies for any problems with the transmission from my end. I did check the broadband connection, and that all seems to be working absolutely properly. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group M0AUG returning. Yeah, thanks for the update and all that. And for the people on YouTube, if you want to know more information on the Mills on the Air program, if you go onto the Denby Dale Club website, and you can actually go onto the button that says Mills on the Air, and it will give you all the details there of the stations who are on this year, some of the ones that you just mentioned there, and obviously the background to the Mills on the Air there. I'm sure, as usual, that quite a number of the Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society will be activating some of the Mills on the Air as well. I think maybe you can confirm that on the next over there. So a good weekend altogether, and it's been going for a long, long time. I did try to get the club up here to look at the windmills on the air this time. I know in the past they've worked from the Marsh Mill up in Thornton, which wasn't a good location. It's a beautiful mill, and it's almost been restored to a fully working mill in the Thornton Clevis area. It's an awful location for radio. And then the other one that we've worked is about I don't know, 5 miles from where I live, which is on the green up with them, and we did that for 2 or 3 years. So it's an interesting day out, subject to the propagation there, but neither of those two are being operated this weekend. So thanks for the update on that so far there, Nick. Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group, M0AG.
M0 AUG, the group ONA to have a tango, just looking to the dashboard. Hopefully I will pop up. Yeah, I'm there. All fine copy from everyone, only from Nick. Nick, I understood most of what you told there, but still some breakups, but I don't know what the reason could be of that phenomenon. I don't know what the reason could be, no idea. Concerning Practical Wireless, Jeff, well, I had not much to report during the last couple of months, so to say, especially because the wind and the weather, thunder and lightning has so much during the last couple of months that I have to put my antennas down, and so that I was not very active on 2 meters or 70 centimeters, and actually conditions were not great at all, so I had not that much to report during the last couple of months. I think this month I will probably have more to report, and I will try to be more active on 6 meters, so that will probably give some beautiful things. And okay, about 6 meters, well, the only antenna I have on 6 meters is a vertical, a diamond vertical, the V2000, which is working on 6 meters, 2 meters and 70 centimeters, and even on 4 meters, unfortunately. It even tunes on 4 meters, and I made some contacts on 4 meters with that antenna also. But the good thing, and I hear that you only can use horizontal antennas, Mike, well, and Adriana, I think the good news is that you don't need big antennas. If you want to do some sporadic signals are in most cases very, very strong. So you don't need big antennas or big gain antennas. With my vertical, I worked all over Europe and even into the States and so on. So must be done with a dipole, with a simple dipole, or with a Moxon if you have the space for that. That would be absolutely no problem. And I think 6 meters, when it is open, is good fun. It's really, signals are booming in. We also had a lot of single sideband QSOs with stations in Spain, some English stations living in Spain there also. So really good fun, the 6 meter band. And okay, Adriana, I hope your G90 will come back soon, because I'm really curious how that will develop, that story, and to see if it is if you will get good service from that guy, because I think it's not that easy to find someone who can repair something like these G90s and these X100s and so on and so on. And okay, about mills on the air, well, I'm living 50 meters from a mill. Some who definitely need heavy restoration. Absolutely, it needs restoration. And the city council promised us that for a couple of years already. But nevertheless, it's a mill. It has a number, and it has, it's in the registers of the mill. So probably, if I have some time, I could probably also activate the mill from my home here. But that will depend on the weather. We will probably do an excursion on Saturday and Sunday, so that will a little bit depend on that. But if I'm active on the mill and probably on 40 meters, I will put a message on the WhatsApp group so that we can try maybe making a contact. You never know. Okay, back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group of 8 November Tango.
8 November Tango in the group M0 AUG. Yeah, fine on that, Jeff. I've just been looking actually on the Denby Dale site at the moment there, Nick, and can't see any stations registered from Denby Dale members as of now, although there might be some updates coming in the next 48 hours, I don't know. So maybe some of the members who are activating them with the special call signs, but nothing that I can see just now. It's an interesting event. It's been going for a number of years. In fact, I think it was founded by the Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society. But Nick knows far more about that than I do. So we'll see how we go on the weekend and keep an eye on it. And if conditions alter, then fine. Fine on the contacts with the practical wireless there, Jeff. And obviously, since Kevin in Gibraltar died, obviously that's the contact list for the PW magazine as well. And he did a lot of good work up on the rock there, and I know you made contact with him on quite a number of occasions. So, I think probably with the number of us on now, it's time to start to wind it down. If anybody else does want to continue where we've been round again, that's absolutely fine. But I think with probably only 5 of us on, we're doing very well this evening. And thank you for your support. And no doubt other people are listening on the YouTube channel, and you're very welcome to do that. And others will be out sunbathing and enjoying a few drinks and things. So back to you, Mike and Adriana. And if we want to make this a final when Adriana's had her go, that's absolutely fine. We'll take it as we go. DL1 BJW with DL8 BDT, M0 AUG in the group.
DL1 BJW was the final, yes. I'm happy to report that the yammering music from the restaurant nearby here, or about 80 to 100 meters from our flat here, from our QDH here, has now ended for this day. I'm very happy about that, because we had to endure it from 11 a.m. to 5 minutes from now. And I like music, but these basses and these very loud tones there, it was something. I'm glad it ended now. But nevertheless, I like to have a good get together with other people as well as others do, and I like music, but it's always nice if one can even have a good night's sleep. So this will be the case. So thank you for all your company and all your information there. It was very nice as always, and it's always a great thing to look forward to at Thursday evening, to meet all the friends and perhaps from time to time even get new acquaintances. This is a nice thing to have. So thank you again. Have a nice week. Have a very good weekend coming up, and hope you will all be present and all well and healthy at the next meeting, which I'm looking forward to. So 73s from DL1 BJW, and I'll pass the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, also from me, very nice. This was a very nice evening, and thank you very much, Jeff, for hosting the net, and to all of you for your companion this evening and the interesting information. And Nick, it sounds great to be able to be portable in the Pennines and seems to be a great location, which is not only a great location for ham radio, but as I saw on Facebook photos you posted, it's also a very nice view, and this is very interesting. And Jeff, I'm always flashed what you can reach from your location, from your balcony with your antennas. This seems to be very great. So I wish you all a pleasant weekend and much success on Mills on the Air. And so I hope to meet you on the band. And so see you soon. Up until last week, bye-bye, 73 and 88 from Delta Lima 8, Bravo Delta Tango. Handing the microphone back to M0 AUG for the group.
BDT with Deal on BJW. Thank you, Adrian and Mike, for your contributions this evening. Always interesting contact from yourself. Not only about the saga of the seller, but obviously the music as well is coming into play now. So, and I hope you get a peaceful night now. It's stopped on them. So, thank you for joining us as ever this evening. There's just a few of us who are on this every week. It's nice to have the same people turning up again. So, thank you for supporting the club from a personal standpoint. Thank you to those who are on this evening. For your friendship, and we look forward to many years of that. So I'll say 73s to Adriana and Mike for this one. And I'm going to jump out of order there. I'm going to bring Jeff in next before you, Nick, in case you want to wrap up afterwards for the members on the YouTube channel. So over to you there, Jeff, for your final Oscar November 8 November Tango for the group M0AEG. And thanks for your support as well, Jeff.
Roger, Jeff, Mike 0 AUG, the group over 8 November Tango, just looking to the dashboard if I'm coming up. Yeah, okay. You are absolutely right. I think we lost Kevin, Zulu Bravo 2. I forgot his call sign. But anyway, I made quite a lot of contacts with Kevin, especially on 6 meters and even on 4 meters, I think, when the sporadic season is there. So he was very active. And also I think he was sometimes also active with a piece of wire out of his window. He was a great guy. I had even some email contacts with him, quite interesting. And good to know, Mike, that the music has ended. I know what that is. I lived once in Ghent near a cafe with a party location that was terrible. Every weekend we were dancing in our bed, so to say. Well, that was terrible. So I really don't like that. I would say 73s to everyone, 73s also to the people of the YouTube channel, to Andy and Rachel, who are probably still there. And I hope to all catch you again next week. And thank you very much, Jeff, for sharing the net. And all the best to you and your wife there. And hope to meet you again. So, Mike 08 AUG, the group over 8 November Tango.
For 8 November saying in the group M08, you returning. Yes, thanks for the sentiments there, Jeff, and also as earlier when we had contact, thank you for offering to stand in if I wasn't able to make it this evening. But here we are, the standard group we have here, and thanks again. Yeah, Kev was a great guy, wasn't he? As a B2GI and everything else, and I had a number of contacts with him over the years. I never actually met him, even though we've been to Gibraltar quite a few times. I never actually got around to meeting him. And so there we go. Right, so thank you to Andy and Rachel and any others who've joined the YouTube group. Hope you enjoyed the net this evening, and thanks for supporting us in that way. And we'll now pass it over to Nick, G4IWO, for any parting words before we close the net this evening. Over to you then, Nick. M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff. And as ever, it's been nice to spend an hour or so with such good friends we've made over the last few years through our club. And yeah, just on the Mills on the Air locally, the 25th anniversary was 2 years ago, just while we were still going through bits of lockdown in COVID. And so quite a few stations have been set up this year. But I don't think you got everything I'd said last time. But Jared was hoping that they were still going to be able to operate from a mill, but I haven't got any details of that at the moment. Andy, 2 Echo 0 Romeo Echo Echo, who, by the way, Jeff, is a member of RNARS, lives down in Hampshire. And Andy said that 6 meters was open today from the south of England, and he worked both Norway and Germany on 6 meters on the conditions on that band today. So well done, Andy, and definitely a band having a look out for. So on that note, I'm going to wish everyone very well, and grateful for those that catch up with us on YouTube and watch the video and listen to our net, and look forward to many more of them, and look forward to your company. And do feel free to chip in with any comments if you do come to us live, or you want to make comments during the week. So on that note, Jeff, 73 is to you, and thank you for your work in chairing this, and thank you everyone else for your great contributions. So good evening, and back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group from G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group M0AUG turning. Thanks for the clarification on Gerald's message. I think that must have been one of the parts where I didn't quite pick it up clearly enough, so thanks for the update on that. So we'll close the net for this week. Joel, if you was on 5, it's been a good net though, and we've obviously got the 2 people with Rachel and Andy on the side there. So, and I hope many more people enjoy the replay on the YouTube channel. Thanks everybody for joining this evening, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next Thursday as usual. So this is Mike 0 Alpha Uniform Golf, closing the Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society Digital Net.